Hey yo, what's good everybody? It's Tylarius, aka Ty Killington. Yeah, man. Alright, so it's Thursday. It is a new double money bonus event week, and with that week, we have some new content. And some of that new content is gonna be the new Anus Hellion. It's the new off-road vehicle. I am attaching my warning label to this on the thumbnail. Simply because there's a few things I want to make sure you guys understand before you decide to purchase this. I'm not telling you not to, but we'll get into that in just a moment here. All right, let's check it out. $835,000. Let's take a look at the description. Once upon a time, an off-roader was designed to cope with mud, rocks, marshes, and hills. The Hellion, on the other hand, has been exquisitely calibrated to go up a 35% sand dune on just the right side of bursting into flames, which will make all the difference in rush hour. All right, so up at 35%. I think it's a 35-degree sand dune is what they're trying to say there. Anyways, though, yeah, $835,000. It is an off-road vehicle, and in this video, we're talking about customization and performance, all of it, okay, and a few extras as well. So, a ton of customization with this vehicle, and there are a few things that are on discount this week as well in regard to the customization for the vehicles. 17 different front bumpers, and there is something a little disappointing with some of these bumpers here. We'll get to that in just a minute. All right, you got your primary full bar, secondary, your lifted ram, the primary lifted ram. Now, if you do want to do a bunch of off-roading with this vehicle, I would recommend just doing the bumper delete, because I do think that helps out with the ground clearance to get hung up on rocks and ruts and things like that. And again, we'll go over that here in just a moment. Rear bumpers, there is 11 different rear bumpers. Now, there is some good customization with these. And then you have the traditional, secondary, primary, carbon or competition or whatever. So there may be a few of the same things, but there's just differences with the paint schemes. And that's the way it's always been, so no big deal. But I always appreciate a good customization with the vehicles. Engine upgrades, you see those right there, see the prices on them. Some nice different exhausts. This is some of the craziest exhaust options we have ever seen in the game. I've never seen some of the exhausts like this ever on any vehicle. Like this right here, the Big Daddy Turbo, I've never seen that before. If you guys have, if I have it or whatever, let me know in the comments. But I think this is definitely unique to this vehicle. The V8, the oval intake, the triple intake bug catcher, that's really cool. I like that. The twin turbo set up the way it is with the exhaust coming out the top. Twin turbo with the air filters, that looks really cool. Nothing wrong with that at all right. You got some fenders in there. What else we got here with the fenders? A whole bunch of different types. You can delete those out. You can add some mud on there. Really cool stuff. A lot of cool features with this vehicle. To me, honestly, I know it's not this vehicle, but it reminds me of an old school Jeep Cherokee. Old school Cherokee back. That's exactly what this reminds. I think it's like a Nissan Patrol, I think is what it is. If I'm wrong, just let me know in the comments down below. I'm sure you guys will let me know. So, 11 different grill options here. Those are always cool. I like to have a couple of cool custom. But if you have a bumper put on there, depending on what type of bumper you have, you won't even be able to see the grill. So you may not have to spend several $1,000s on swapping that out. So just keep that in mind. Headlights, you can switch that up if you want. 11 different liveries, and there's a really cool livery here that pays homage to the original Jurassic Park movie. I love the Jurassic Park movies. I think they're really cool. The original was groundbreaking. Like, that was just awesome. And it's the Globe Ranger livery. This livery right here is the Jurassic Park livery. If you switch your paint to like a tan color or whatever, it's identical to the Jeeps they used in Jurassic Park. So that's really cool. I appreciate that. I love how Rockstar employees and Rockstar in general, they're all a bunch of they're cinephiles, right? Or I'm not sure how if that's the right word. They're cinematics or cinematography or whatever. They like movies, okay? In layman, they're movie fans, they're movie buffs, okay? So that's pretty cool. I like that. There's a differences with your primary and your secondary. The secondary has that little stripe there on the body. That's where the crew emblem will go. Got some roll cage options as well. Some cool stuff with that. The secondary, primary. You got the padding on there. Got some roof options. The light bar, raid rack, and then the raid kit, which is the rack and the light bar. And again, we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute here. Got some skirt options, which is really just the step board right there, the step plate. You can switch up primary, secondary. You can switch to how it looks or whatever. Again, pay attention to your ground clearance and things. So you don't want to have something that's going to eat up too much space and get hung up on rocks and things. You got your suspension. I wish, for the love of goodness gracious, that they would add lift kits for off-road vehicles. We don't have any options for lift kits and oversized tires. That's ridiculous, man. We should have that. They could easily put that into the game. I don't know why they don't, but whatever. This is what it looks like with your off-road tires. Really no difference in that. But I'd love to have a lift kit on there, put on some like 38s, you know what I mean? A body lift, suspension lift, whatever. That'd be nice. You can add these window plates, and we'll be testing these here in a minute. This is pretty cool. I like this. I wish you could add these on the side, the driver and the passenger windows and the windshield as well, but you cannot. But we'll test those here and see if they are bulletproof and if this vehicle has any explosive resistance as well. This is something that really pisses me off with Rockstar. One thing I wanted to bring it to light here. You can add all these extra lights, the roof rack, all that stuff, and I could not figure out how to activate them. I did not know. So if they're just dummy lights, that is the stupidest thing ever. So don't even waste your money on that. It is all-wheel drive, as you see. Shout out to Watt, man. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for helping me out. He was, we're testing to see if he can get killed from the plates, the armor plates. They do offer bulletproof resistance. However, there is no explosive protection on there. So let's check out the performance, and there's really not much performance with the Hellion. As you see right here in a top speed straight line test, comes in at 1 minute 35 seconds in the off-road category. And I mean, with racing in an off-road category, the only vehicle really to use is the BF 400. It's going to be the best overall. I'm not even doing a wheelie. I'm not leaning in, and we're 10 seconds faster than the Hellion. And if I was doing a wheelie or leaning in with the bike, it'd be even faster than that. Let's check out some of the off-road performance on here. The off-road performance is decent. It is okay. Is it the best? No, it's not. It's not the best. Because it lacks all that top-end raw power, it definitely does have some challenges in regard to climbing. We'll see that here in just a minute. If you delete the bumper out on the front, it does help out with climbing over obstacles. It allows your front tires to be able to grip much better. But as you see right here, because we don't have an option to add larger tires or a body lift or suspension lift, it does struggle on, like a basic rock climb. It's not bad. It's not bad, but there are better vehicles out there. It does struggle a little bit. You'll see here, we make several attempts. This is a pretty challenging little rock climb right here. It kind of gives you an idea of how easy the vehicles can get hung up, because the wheelbase does matter. With some of the vehicles, if they're a longer wheelbase, they get hung up a little bit easier. The closer the wheels are together, it does help out with this particular type of off-roading. And again, taking the front bumper off does help out with this. And if you just plan your, you just get your route right, you plan your angles, you can, get some good off-roading and some rock crawling right there. As you see, I made it over. No big deal. I didn't have to bail on it. Didn't have to, you know what I mean, like just drive around it. But it does have limitations because of the lower ground clearance. As you see right here, it does not climb the vehicles very well. Let's test out the actual climbing ability, the hill climb. This is something I love doing in the game. Now, one thing I do have to give this vehicle credit for is that it does have great off-road traction. It seems like the off-road traction when you're racing on dirt is very, very good. I was not bouncing around or sliding around at all. It was very, very competent. I'm not sure what the off-road traction value is, but it does have a lot of grip on there. So if you're doing races that are basically just on dirt, I mean, you could use this vehicle. Again, is it going to be the best one to go with? Absolutely not. BF 400, Camacho, the Brawler, those vehicles will be a better to use overall. And as you see right here, it does struggle to make it over these hills. I mean, you have to kick it up in the next couple of gears, and there is an issue with that. As I get to this top one right here, I come to a full stop and then drive it on up right there. This is not a speed thing. We're not trying to make the fastest time. But as you see, it really does struggle. The Hellion has some issues getting up the hill. That's just, again, because it doesn't have that raw top-end power, it's going to struggle on that. The brakes in the vehicle, we're about to test that right here. The brakes are just average. They're okay. It seems like it has the engine brake that a lot of the cars have, where if you just let off the gas, it tries to control itself. But as you see right here, it kind of lifts off the ground a little bit, and the braking is not the best. So for an off-road vehicle, it's okay. I can't recommend spending $835,000. It is a collector's vehicle. If you have the money, a 5-to-1 ratio is what you want to use. Use my 5-to-1 rule. If you just want to burn it and have it, it does have that Jurassic Park, theme livery. So it is a collector's vehicle. There's a lot of other off-road vehicles that are much better. The Camacho, for example, is on sale right now. It's a good one to use. The trophy truck, the Desert Raid, the Riata, those are vehicles that I would recommend for this one, definitely. All right, so, but, again, it's got a lot of cool customization. I'm not trying to down talk it too much, but I know a lot of people were excited about this vehicle, but, almost $1 million and over $1 million with customization. There's a lot of other options that you could go with. And again, it's primarily going to be a collector's vehicle. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for the ills and reels content in the game. Make sure you smash that like button. You guys stay dangerous. See you in the next one. Peace out. Yeah.